Hello again. This is the Watering Man, Spiritual Toolbox number 297. John chapter 3, recording number 145. Audio recording number 614. And examination table number 273. We'll be continuing in John chapter 3, verse 25, I think. Hang on a minute. Yeah, verse 25. All right. The King James Version says, "Then there arose a question between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purifying." Now, you don't have to be in some church building or have some degree from some seminary, some cemetery, if you're relying upon that man-made doctrine, huh? You're preaching that old stuff that's full of all kinds of worms and stuff, putrid, your own righteousness, mankind's stinking thinking, to preach the truth. No. Preach the new wine, the new revelation, the disclosure of the things before known, the revealing of the truth of God. Just like when I come out of a coma and stuff, God had been talking to me for nearly 3 months. And man, when God puts something in you, it's just like a little bitty seed, man. That thing can come out who knows how long. Just like, say, that singularity at the Big Bang thing. Boom, come out to a whole universe, okay? God can do whatever he wants. He's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. God's sovereign. I was beside myself, not able to speak. I was trying to take speech, occupational, and physical therapy 3 times a day from a wheelchair. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even set up by myself. Couldn't make my leg. I couldn't do nothing. Plumbed my body, physical. But that's just representing. God was after everything. I was all sure. I was trying to talk like crazy. Huh? I wasn't all that talk was like that before that accident. But boy, afterward, I was just like, and I was so happy. Man, my body was just in hell. It was pure. I was broken and torn, everywhere. Seeing 4 of everything and all this stuff. And there was this great revelation God was giving me to say out. And I couldn't do it. And all this stuff before I went into this real tormenting thing where I got a staph infection everywhere, and my brain was baking. Okay, they had me in ice. I was begging to come out. I couldn't do nothing. They had me. It was tormenting. Okay, and God said, "Peace, be still." Put a muzzle on that old dog. Right? That be stencher. All right. Don't worry, you're not going to forget nothing. Whenever this kind of going to go away, and whenever this feeling that I had, this drive that was just crazy, but it still had the drive to help pull me out of this stuff. I needed every bit of it. Don't worry, you'll not forget any of it. I couldn't even put it into words yet. It was just a feeling of, oh my goodness. Great news. God said later in your life, when you need it and as you need it, it'll come out. And you'll do great things for me. Ministering, giving out his word. That's what I'm doing. I'm ministering. I'm a minister. True minister. Through the experience that I didn't really ask for. But I'm glad. Since then, I've been saying, I want all that you got for me, Daddy. And later I'm going, oh, how much? I didn't know what I was asking for. I'm dying again. Well, that's kind of maturing. It's been about 30 years, almost. Coming up on July, it'll be 30 years. July 23rd, 24th in the morning, about 3:30 in the morning. That makes 24 years. Oh, not 24 years, 30 years. Okay, and that wasn't all of it. There's still going on. All kinds of stuff. The pressures, you just can't see it. Doesn't mean there's not there. I guarantee it. Just like everybody it goes through all kinds of stuff. Okay, it rains on the just and the unjust. God's given it so that I could give you out stuff to help you through some troubles in these times need. I can't do it for you, but I can help you, give you spiritual toolboxes so that you can get through it. This is not just some up there crazy stuff. Saying, you're going to hell if you don't get it. No. Cut that bull crap out. All right? Now, I'm going to take you somewhere and read a little bit thing. All right? And this comes from the wisest, one that prayed for wise wisdom. God granted it to him. King Solomon in the Bible. Should be the wisest man, right? Let's see here in Ecclesiastes Chapter 9, verse 14 and 15, I believe, is where it's at. All right? I'm just going to read this a little bit out of the New King James. Remember, this city's your mind. Where's God working internally in your mind? Not out here, all this external stuff. Behold, the kingdom of God is within you. All this stuff saying, lo, it's over here, it's over there, it's over there. This is a great building. You got to go to this great building over here. All these people are set in place by mankind to teach you. It's something put in there, God put in there. And God took to. See, all this stuff that happened, I couldn't give it out yet. That wine needed a period to age. Doesn't wine in the natural, the best wine ages. When you go to a restaurant or something, you're going to order some expensive wine, isn't it? Because it's aged. And not just got old and soured and all that stuff. No. Take care of it, bottle up, perfect, done well, right? It's allowed to age and ferment. Not some apple juice, grape juice bullcrap. No. This is the real stuff. Now, in the natural, it's funny. I can't drink. I can't take a little bit. If I take a little bit of sip like this, like I took a little bit of sip of that tea. Okay, it's just unsweetened tea. Very, very, very little sugar in it. I'm diabetic now, okay? It's got just a little tiny bit, but I take a little bit of sip of that. If I do that to wine, I'll have whelps from head to toe. Hives and break out. I'm like, I'm burning up. Okay? Can't do it. I'm allergic to it. That's the natural wine. I think that's showing something. This natural revelation by mankind's teaching. I'm like, daggone allergic to that stuff. Ew, yuck. Hate that. It just gives me the willy willies. Ew, yuck. This stuff stinks. About like taking a big handful of hog slop. Chewing it up. Oh! I gag and throw up. I get around that any kind of little stuff that smells a little bit, man. I get kind of a little nauseous. I start gagging, and I can't hardly handle it. This stuff's showing you stuff. If you pay attention. Does that see, hear, taste, touch, or smell? Is that from the I and the ego in the middle? The crap thinking? Or is that got God in control? The rightful ruler? That's good stuff. That wine, that revelation, that truth before none, just like that seed of faith, coming back to the truth of God as you agree, green light. That hope, just having a hope in God, coming back to as you agree, it's coming back to confidence. This love that's conditional, manipulative of the carnal mind, of that non-spiritual mind of mankind thinking. Look at this, man. I've come to this. I got a great big day going. Celebrate that. And it's mankind stuff. Here, bend over and kiss our butts. No, I don't want to. I often wonder, why does that make me feel kind of sick? That's what it is. That ain't right. There's something not right about that. Something insincere and phony. Phony baloney about that old pompous, arrogant, ostentatious stuff. Pretend, putting on a facade. Man, look at this. No, that's not right. Okay? Come out of all that. And as you agree, God's way, God's righteousness, God's love beyond words, you're increasing back into that love that God has for us, that child. That's agape, that's incompleted love. That love that's beyond the description of mere words. And as you're going through this lifetime, through all these storms, and you're agree, green light. Yes, sir, Daddy, yes, sir. And you're gaining ability to come back in and charm, love God in that manner, gaining levels, increasing in that level, in that manner of love. You're not all the way there yet. And it's in each and every thought process, in those muddy bowls of water. God is increasing it. He's purifying it through that boiling water and that bitter vinegar solution. Stop eating that bull crap. That's what God's saying. It's saying wrath and anger. That's just intense passion and desire. It's like God saying, quit swallowing that stuff. Making you sick. Can't you see that? Look what I'm doing for you. I'm spinning it up here. Showing you. Now get your mind right. You got to make the right choice. You got to work out your own salvation, deliverance from that eating that old hog slop, your own poop thinking, your own righteousness, which is filthy, mistress, stinking rags, and it's worse than that. If you go back, I did, I think, a little series on Isaiah 64, verse 6. I think it's 6 or 4. Okay, said it too fast. But anyways, it says, my righteousness is as filthy rags in the King James. Oh, it's much worse than that. Okay? Now, if you're in that love that's down here, yuck, you're coming back to, as you agree, you're coming back to that love that's beyond words of God, okay? Now, as this thing is aged, and there's not that wasn't all, there's all kinds of stuff, and it just continually happens, making those ropes bigger and bigger and bigger. And now I've got like a gigantic rope, and it keeps continually growing, because I'm still going through crap, a lot of stuff, but it's overcoming. I think it's fun, the ice in my head, and my neck, and my side, and, not being able to see right, and all kinds of stuff, blurring up everything, diabetes, high blood pressure, blah, 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 pressure under my, But still, yeah, as quickly as I can, yes, sir, Father God, what do you want? Not my will be done, but your will be done. All right. Now, I'm going to read this verse here. Okay? Remember, this city's your mind. Okay? I'm going to read it out of the New King James. It just kind of flows easier, okay? I'm going to try not to break it all down. I'll leave that to you, okay? if you want to do it. Okay? But listen, in Ecclesiastes Chapter 9, verse 14 and 15, okay? We'll read those two verses. Now, this is King Solomon telling us this, okay? The one that says, don't all go to one place. When we die, this earth suit, this body returns to the dust of the earth, to the earth from where it came. And the spirit returns to the Father. Don't mention the no torment forever and ever and ever and all this baloney stuff, okay? That's in Ecclesiastes 12:7. Okay, man? You can read about it also in this other stuff there, Ecclesiastes 3:20 and 6:6, okay? Now, let's get right here in Ecclesiastes 9:3, chapter 9, verse 14, 15, okay? Read the New King James. Let me get a little drink. As I was feeling this intense passion, this desire and stuff, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it, then all of a sudden, yes, I can. God's bringing it out. I'll not forget. When God's telling you this, in this eye of a storm, in this really bad storm where it's to the point of dying, you don't forget that. Woo! This is great news, right? But it has to take a time, to God's timing, however long. Towards the end of my life, said I do great things for Him. I don't know what all. I'm just, yes, sir, Father. I want all that you got for me. Okay? I'm a minister. Not by mankind's put me in there. No. God's put me in there. Much better. If God be for you, who can be against you? Who cares? All right, let's get it. It's bust that old carnal mind right between the eye with that big old rock, that little rock, like David, hitting Goliath, that big carnal mind, big old giant, pow, right there in the mind. Right there in the carnal mind. Then he took his sword, the word of God, cut off its head. And don't just stop one time. So each and every thought process, whenever you're going through these storms of your life. And God's working on those storms multiple times to purify little bit by little bit by little bit, line upon line, precept upon precept. Right? Put ye on the mind of Christ. If you don't suffer with me, you'll not reign with me. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and God will lift you up. Not me, myself, and I will lift you up. Trust in that old carnal mind. Ooh! Get a drink of that new wine. Drink it in remembrance of Christ, Jesus. Yahweh is salvation. I-S-O-U-S. Jesus. Now, my carnal mind is my salvation. I can do it by myself. That's one of them lights. Independent kind of attitude. Some call it spirit. It's more of an attitude. It's more of the thing. It's one of the giants in your land, in your mind. Aboriginal from the beginning. Kick its butt out of there. Boom! Kick that donkey, that ass nature's butt. Pow! When God gives you the chance. Out there and occupy that spot in its place. Over and over and over, and let God increase it back into His righteousness. Not your own stinking thinking's righteousness. What it says is right, good and bad. Don't eat from that tree of knowledge of good and evil. Detest that stuff. It's a big old pile of yuck. Hmm?
Big old pile of yuck.
That's right. My wife just said, Lisa said, that's a big old pile of yuck. It is.
Yuck.
Yuck. All right. Now, started to do this a few times, but excuse me. Get out of there, you old stuff. All right. Ecclesiastes 9, verse 14 and 15. New King James Version. There was a little city with few men in it, and a great king came against it. Carnal mind. Right? The carnal mind and God directly opposed, or in enmity. Okay? And besieged it. Tried to take it, tried to stay king. It was besieging you. Burden. Okay? But God's trying to take you captive. But you got to green light it in those storms of your life. Right? To come out of that stuff. Okay? Now, there was a little city with few men in it, and a great king came against it, besieged it, and built great snares around it. Traps, booby traps, trip you up. Bent snare traps, like a giant rat trap. Pow! Or a trap that's got like a tree bent over thing and a loop, and you step your foot in there, your lifestyle, your living, the way you live, the way you life, the way you think. Ooh, pulls you up there. Got you now! You ain't getting away. The carnal mind says, I'm your rightful king. I'm the alpha dog. And it's a beast nature, right? It's not the alpha. It's the negative alpha. God's the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Kick that daggone donkey's ass. Get out! Right? Isaiah chapter 30, verse 19 through 22. Or maybe 18. You could do 18. But in verse 22, get out! Right? That old carnal stuff is, I count all as done for winning Christ. Get out! Right? That stuff's tearing you down, weighing you down, besieging you. It's got you, it's stronghold. It's strong-arming you. All right? Now, verse 14. There was a little city with few men in it, and a great king came against it, besieged it, and built great snares around it. Verse 15. Now there was found in it a poor wise man. Speaking like that poor widow woman that's letting all that old stuff die. That natural. Don't rely upon that, your own tree of knowledge, good and evil. Let that Adamic nature die. Let that beast nature die. Don't rely upon that. I'm poor in that. I don't want anything like that. Like the Apostle Paul's name means small. Small in that stuff. And I want to decrease in that. Just like at the end of, I think it's John chapter 3, verse 30. I must decrease and he must increase. But you inside, you got to decrease. Quit relying upon that old crap thinking. This thing besieging you, and go into God full bore. Bust it up. Yes, sir, Daddy. Because God is giving you the power right then. Right in that eye of the storm, right in that twinkling of an eye. Choose, you must choose. The hot pursuit of God, or the rest is qualifying you to be negative, to negate. Red way. Yup, right? Now, let's read this first. Hang on. Now there was found in it, in that city, a poor wise man. And he, by his wisdom, delivered the city. Green-lighted God. Yes, sir, Daddy, which way you want me to go? Yes, sir, your will be done, not mine. I'm not going to bow the knee to that old bullcrap thinking, no matter if it says this is grandiose to go the good, the bad way, because you're a bad boy if you go the other way. Just like going, whenever something's going into that, coming near a black hole and it gets close to that accretion disk. That point of event horizon, where if it goes past that gravity being equated to about like the love of God, pulls you can't get out. From the outside, you're looking in as a natural person, you can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell nothing of it. Man, that's blacker than the ace of spades. Blacker than that. No light can get out. That love of God that's pulling me to it. Because it's immensely dense in God's character. Like pulling you into that pipeline, right? That like funnel, that spring, right? Pulling you all the way from the radio waves, going all the way into this gamma rays. Remember that? If you don't, go back and listen to the recordings. Study it for yourself. Can't keep going over this stuff over and over and over. You got the recordings, they're on here, spiritual toolboxes. You can listen to it to your heart's content and study it. You got to interpret that stuff with the right-mindedness of God. Not let that old carnal king besiege you. Say, go the red way. Man, this is grandiose right here. That gone there bad person over here. They can't see your taste or you can't see your taste, touch, or smell nothing with that ego in your way. With that old log, your old me, myself, and I, stinking thinking. Trying to help you do the judging. They're making the decision. Because it's going to condemn. It's going to mislead. It's going to twist stuff to its own destruction. It's going to twist the word of truth to its own destruction. Don't trust that thing. Make God true. Acknowledge God is the truth. God is the great hero. He's your exceeding great reward. Not messed up. Think about it. Giving you all kinds of stuff. Go back, study it, listen to it. When I'm going through a hard thing, sometimes I'll put this on to listen to it. It helps me remember things, and oh my goodness, come out of stuff. It encourages me. When there's no one else around and stuff, encourage yourself in the Lord. Don't rely on some stinking thinking stuff. Now, so you come right in there to God. God's way of thinking. Woohoo! God is great. Man, remember, it's always that green is emphatic. In hot pursuit. It's not, well, mealy mouth, I glimpse the wheel. I'll just tiptoe through the tulips, do this through the day. Boom! Spit you out of his mouth. Vomit you out. Right. You gotta vomit that stuff out. Get emphatic about it. Go back into God with everything you got. You gotta qualify with God, not with nobody else. Not with mankind's thing. Whether they say you don't never do, you gotta agree with the thing you do. Hogwash. Well, that offends me, so I'm not. No. Don't matter. Offenses must come. In the world there must be tribulation, thlipsis, pressures, calamities. But be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. John 16:33 right there. All right. Talking straight to you. Giving you some new wine. Not this old, give me that old time religion. No. It's truth. Truth of God. Don't stay down in that old man thinking. Just cause it says it's good or bad. Don't trust that thing. Study to show yourself approved, the worker that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing or accurately handling the word of truth. If you're in hot pursuit of God, you'll do that. A good soldier of the Lord doesn't entangle himself in the cares of the world. There's all this garbage thinking. All I got to do is get approval from everybody else, okay? Let me finish this verse. I'm getting close on time. I'm not even going to get the recording on there on this one, but I'll have to do that on another one, okay? Verse 15 of Ecclesiastes 9, the New King James says, Now there was found in it, that city, a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Because he's greenlighting God, right? Little bit by little bit by little bit. Yet no one remembered that same poor man. It's not doing it because mankind acknowledges it. It's between you and God. If they acknowledge it, great. Hopefully to do. But a true prophet or a true, not going to receive any glory from their own family, from their own country. What? All right. I went a lot longer than I thought on this, but that's all right. We'll continue in John chapter 3, verse 25 next time, okay? This was Spiritual Toolbox 297, and I've already got 297 on here, but we'll have to call it 298 next time, okay? Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.